Doki Doki Literature Club is the most baffling game to have come into existence. The game is a sequel of sorts to Japan-exclusive Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic, which, as we all know, would later be released worldwide as Super Mario Bros. 2. Super Mario Bros. 2 became an instant critical darling and continued to receive the Game of the Year award every year since its inception. Of course, Nintendo was not at all satisfied with having only one title being held above all others for 30 consecutive years, and thus aimed to create another entry into the beloved franchise. As a follow-up to the previously mentioned all-time classic, Nintendo made the bold decision to design the game as a CRPG. The acronym, of course, standing for Computer RPG. Not only did the game's genre change, but even the characters received major overhauls, with all 4 members of the original's cast now being represented as high school anime children. Clearly, the developers must have had the most violent creative seizures to have made these incredibly risky decisions. The same kind of creative seizures that I often experience after having eaten 50 grams of Swiss cheese. As delightful as all this may sound to some of you plebs, the game doesn't waste much time before it really starts to confuse. This is, without a doubt, the strangest KRPG I have ever touched. Aside from naming the avatar, character customization is non-existent. The game hardly gives any choices, and movement, which was never traditionally sophisticated in the genre, is extremely handicapped. And oh my god, the talking never stops. I had been playing for 2 hours straight before any semblance of a game mechanic was introduced. And when it was introduced, it just turned out to be some shitty writing simulator. Look, game, I barely have a 4th grade reading level, and here you are expecting me to craft poetry that would rival that of Robert Frost's. Maybe if you gave me better words to work with, I might have a sporting chance at composing something of similar taste and quality to Dr. Seuss. I had heard that this story was to introduce vicious and psychologically tormenting horror elements once the story had progressed a fair deal. But what I didn't expect was for it to become immensely terrifying the instant I attended the titular literature club. Being the object of any woman's desire, whether she be hideous or attractive, is a consistently petrifying fear of mine. And there are not 1, not 2, but 4 girls deeply infatuated with my presence. Imagine the most possibly horrific and paralyzing fear that you could conjure up and multiply that by 4. And you have now accurately depicted the kind of panic that this game incites within me. Even more terrifying, my avatar disregards my authority and seizes every opportunity to get closer to any girl. He can and will do whatever it takes in order to spend intimate time with every single girl. Every single one. And each time he does, I'm led into disturbing situations against my own will. If I didn't know any better, I would say that he does this on purpose just to further torment me. What? No. What are you doing? I never asked for this. Why do I have to be so close to her? I don't want to button her vest. Her face, it's taking up so much of mine. I can't look away. Oh, she's making comments about her breasts. With respect to this game, I have no mouth, and my terror obliges me to scream. In the end, I can't remember if I finished the whole thing or not. I remember the girls talking about some gay festival or some shit, and the bow-headed girl started to become more likable by shedding some of her saccharine-like joy. It all probably turned out fine. I didn't like it. It's not nearly as good as its predecessors, but then again, nobody ever cares about what I think, so it's not like anything matters anyways. I'm sure there's someone out there that likes this sort of shit. Yeah, I give it maybe a 7? No. Yeah, a 7. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. That seems about right. Yeah. Now I think I'll sob in a corner for about an hour before I consider contacting my psychiatrist. Cheers!